Latest edition of Extra Time. Shaka with me in the studio. You weren't supposed to be here, Shaq.
Apparently not. Nobody told me. I got a message saying to come into the studio, and then nobody told me that that message was recanted after a while.
Oh, recanted.
Is that a word?
Nedum is with us as well from his home. Sort out your background, Nedum.
It's kind of blended.
What's wrong with it?
background
That's
as well.
Jimi Hendrix. What's the problem?
Yeah, but it's
What's
just
the
so
problem?
blank. I want some memorabilia. You know,
You
some
can't
of
even
your.
see Jimi Hendrix.
I know.
All you can see is a frame.
That's.
How about shifting the camera so you can see Jimi
I'm going to
Hendrix?
do
Hey.
exactly
You can
what
be
I
on the
want.
side a little
I'm gonna
bit.
do
Maybe
what
it's a
I
tribute
want.
to the trophies that you won.
It's got a little Real Salt Lake, something going on down there as well.
Nedum, how is the new podcast doing? Now, if you saw it, did you have Mark Halsey on, didn't you, the former referee?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And there was
I
some
had Mark
great
Halsey
pics
on,
that you put up
but-
on Twitter.
Yeah, point of order though, it's not a new podcast, it's 2 years old.
Okay.
So
Well.
I get it's new to him, but it is 2 years old. There's a little bit of action in there. If you want to click the link, you know, you'll find it. And there's some good content in there. Maybe I'll have you on one day, Dan. Maybe.
Now, what was interesting with the photos you put up of the referee, that I would say you're one of the more cultured footballers that we have on, yet you just seem to turn into, I don't know,
Craig.
and not a nice person when a
Craig.
referee is involved.
It depends. It depends on the referee. Depends on the moment. You know, I think you're referencing the fact that in three pictures I was pretty angry at a referee called Lee Mason.
Yeah,
and by
right in his
pretty angry I
face.
mean like I was furious. One of them, well, the one I think there was one when I was playing for QPR and it was against Crystal Palace, and I blacked out for 10 seconds. I was that angry. Like I completely lost the plot.
Wow.
And I look back on that. And thankfully, I found him after I retired, and you know, I've apologised since. But you know, there were some very, very dark moments with that particular referee. Mostly him.
Wow.
I didn't expect that.
I know, Nedum's so calm
I know.
and sophisticated.
Measured.
And he blacks out with his anger issues.
Hey.
That apology was empty, by the way.
Yeah.
I can tell
Yeah.
from here.
Well, do you know what? Do you know what it was?
Didn't really
It's because it was live on TV as well. So I was actually quite embarrassed looking back at it. But I still think the decision was very wrong, and that's what triggered me. But yeah, never again.
I told you your apology was empty.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, but you were wrong. What kind of apology is something Mrs. Hislop would say?
Nedum, how was your holiday in a caravan?
Yeah, it was very much outside. You know, I was surrounded by dogs and things like this.
no,
Basically,
he
I
doesn't like
was
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was being a good father. I was being a good father
Right.
because I didn't think this was a place where I would end up in my life. But there I was, and I did the right thing, and the kids had a good time. My wife had a good time. So yeah, I'm a hero. There you go.
Did you have any blackouts during that time?
Listen, I've gained closure. I'm okay now. No decision matters. I'm just trying to live my life. Dan, don't try and make me be that person again.
Right.
I've moved on. It's done. It's over. It's over.
Did you ever watch
Yes.
Father Ted? Did you watch Father Ted, Nedum, ever?
Is that really priest?
I've seen Father Ted, yeah.
Fantastic. It's
Yeah.
a great caravan episode. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Anyway, back to, what's this? Oh, we got to talk about soccer. Nedum, do defenders hate receiving instructions from goalkeepers? And what was the weirdest instruction that you have received from a keeper?
Oh, do you know what? It depends on the goalkeeper, because I've played with some who've actually got good personality, but then I've played with others where I try and pretend I can't hear them. But the weirdest, it's just like guys just saying like, oh, just try and block it or just try and tackle it. Well, I'm like, well, of course, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? But ultimately, as I say, if you find the right sort of keeper, I played with Joe Hart, a guy called Alex Smithies to name but two, even Kasper Schmeichel, and you can have fun with them. So the stuff that they're saying tends to be stuff whereby in the moment it looks like it's a very serious occasion, but they might just drop in a joke about something that happened a minute earlier. So they're the ones who you like to listen to.
How much would Jordan Pickford annoy you, Nedum?
He's had a good Euros, give him shooting some bail, but he does seem a little bit on edge at times. But ultimately, I don't know him as a person, so I'm going to sit on the fence as Shaka knows I like to do, and say, you know, I'm sure he's a great guy.
Well, the thing is with Pickford, when you see it, he's one of those who makes a save and then shouts.
Drives TV mad.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I kind of understand Stevie's point.
Yeah.
Because it is every single time. It is every single time. If you do that and you make an error, then you have to expect the same kind of treatment. And He's not received that.
On the rare occasion that you made a good save, would you shout as he does?
That depends on how good the save was. I wanted everybody to be sure that I saw that. Make sure you see the save.
Yeah.
I started running around waving my hands. Nobody knew what I was saying. Just helped. But I just wanted to highlight that I made a good save.
Cristiano Ronaldo has quite famously taken care of himself physically his whole career, which has allowed him to perform at a high level well into his 30s. What footballer would you most like to have seen do the same with their physique career? Brazilian Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, another?
Didn't Brazilian Ronaldo have like health issues?
He did his knee.
It wasn't.
Like his
yeah,
knee.
but wasn't there some other something more so than just the knee injury?
Right.
I thought it was anyway. I don't know. But yes, I would have loved to see Brazilian Ronaldo, as I say repeatedly. I think he was just incredible throughout.
Yeah.
And that his career just came to an end too quickly. He was just too good.
Nedum, who would you have liked to have seen looked after themselves better?
Yeah, I think I'm with Shaka. I would have liked to have seen Ronaldo have a longer career because the sort of legacy that we'd have would be even greater because for us, we hold him so dearly. And when you look back, he didn't actually play as many games as, say, some of these icons of today. But another guy, I'd say, in terms of when he was in England, was Delta Rapt. So this was a guy who in training had as much ability as you've seen anywhere in the league. But for when he was in England, I don't think he really cared about being that much of a professional. And it's just so sad, in my opinion now, to see that he's playing at his best in Portugal as a holding midfielder. Like if he would have had just a little bit more sort of desire and, a better physique and a better mentality, this guy could have been an icon in England, I feel.
More Ronaldo questions off the back of what you said yesterday, Shaq. Aside from Ronaldo winning the World Cup, what else makes him in prime better than Messi? Because prime Messi was just as good a dribbler, even better passer, playmaker and goal scorer.
Brazilian Ronaldo in full flight, I think, was more unstoppable than Messi at full flight. At their best. Listen, I get the argument about how long Lionel Messi has been doing it for. I get that. But at his best, Brazilian Ronaldo was more unstoppable than Lionel Messi at his best.
Nedum, where do you start on this?
I understand what Shaq is saying, but I think Messi at his peak, I think he doesn't even have the sort of physical attributes that Ronaldo had, because I wouldn't say Messi's lightning fast or incredibly strong, but his impact was still so huge. Like I prefer, in terms of a number 9, like Ronaldo, like dream number 9 for me. But Messi, just as a player, I think he's just different. Like, if we ever see anything like him ever again, like, I think we'll be so blessed. Because even looking back, there was one year when Cristiano Ronaldo, I think, scored 46 goals in La Liga, and he was second top scorer to a number 10 in Lionel Messi, who had 50. That's not normal at all.
What is the best case of a great player embarrassing another great player that they've seen? Mine is Cafu loving Nedved twice. That was pretty. Yeah,
that was classic. 2 came to mind.
Okay.
Dwight York tripping David Seaman.
Right.
Panenka. But the one for me that stood out, Zidane doing the same to Buffon, 2006 World Cup final.
Yeah.
That's just, well, you already know, everybody knows what I think about Buffon.
Yes.
You can't do that to Gigi Buffon. But if there was anybody who could, it's Zidane.
Yeah.
I'm also a huge fan of Zidane. There's nobody I loved watching play more than Zinedine Zidane. So to see those two at that stage of the game as well, a World Cup final we're talking about, doesn't come any bigger than that.
Nedum?
Okay, so mine's a bit different because, say, I'm going to talk about Jerome Boateng. And Jerome Boateng, I think he's a really good player. Some might say he's a great player. But in one particular instance, when he was playing for Bayern Munich at the Nou Camp, and he was one-on-one with Messi, and it's the clip where Messi shapes to his left and then cuts back onto his right before dinking it over Neuer. And Boateng in that moment there, the job that he had with Messi in the open space, I don't think you'd find many players anywhere around the world that would want to swap in for him in that moment. And what he did to him when Boateng fell over, I was looking at it like, I think I'm 100% sure I would have fallen over and probably made it look infinitely worse. Like that was beautiful. I remember watching from my house just thinking, no, that's just outrageous. Because again, Jerome Boateng, this is somebody who was at Man City for a bit. Like, this is a really good footballer, and he was made to look like they just found him on the street by, in my opinion, the greatest of all time.
Shaka, what do you make of PSG currently having 9 goalkeepers on their books? What was the most amount of keepers in one of the sides that you had?
Well, first of all, absolutely ridiculous what PSG are doing with their goalkeepers. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't. The most, I don't think I've ever been anywhere with more than 3 genuine first team goalkeepers.
Right.
I was at, but for instance, I was at Portsmouth and we had 3 genuine first team goalkeepers, but you had like the likes of Asmir Begovic coming through in the youth squad.
Right.
So, you know, it looked more than it was because of how good Begovic was, even at that age. But, you know, generally 3 is about average. I can't think of any club I've been at. Newcastle was staying with Steve Harper coming through from the youth setup, but that's about it.
For Nedum, without being Manchester City biased, which manager would he prefer to play for in the Premier League if he's playing now? So you can't say City, don't say Pep.
Klopp.
Which manager outside of City? I guess I would say Thomas Tuchel in this. Yeah. Ooh. At the best, I'd say Jurgen Klopp, because he's somebody who's very, very passionate. You know, he gets his team to play in a high energy way, and you know the runs they can go on in terms of being unbeaten and so on is special. And I think if it wasn't for City, they would have won maybe a couple more titles in the years gone by. So I think I'd say him because he made that team very, very special. But you know, just in that particular moment, it wasn't enough domestically. So I'd say Jurgen Klopp.
Nedum, how weird is it to cheer for Team GB in the Olympics and not just England? Gotta be odd. Can't imagine all of a sudden cheering along with Mexico and Canada.
No, do you know what? It's not that odd, just because maybe you're the same as me, Dan. Like, when you watch the Olympics, you're used to cheering on GB anyway. You know, the GB football thing is a new entity, but the sentiment of supporting Great Britain is something which you've probably done for the duration of your life whilst you've been watching Olympic Games. And I don't necessarily tune into the Olympic Games just to watch football. You know, I'm more sort of like a track and field guy, you know, and other things like that. Maybe it's gymnastics and so on. So it feels fine. But it's just a shame that, say, the male side of things can't do what the women are doing and actually put a team out, because, you know, ultimately, as I say, it'll be another team which you can get behind and hope for the best. You know, maybe even, you know, give them a chance of winning a gold medal or winning something at the national level.
I wonder how Stevie feels, that's right.
Sorry?
Never mind you, Englishman. I want to know what Stevie feels about Team GB.
Yeah, I'd be intrigued, given his England hatred.
We know what Craig would think.
Yes, yeah, he's not bothered. Final question, what are their favourite desserts?
My favourite dessert?
Do you know what I had when I was with Frank? Creme brulee without the brulee, which is fantastic.
You had creme?
Yeah, creme was good.
Why didn't you just say creme?
So is it just custard? You just had custard?
Exactly, but it was good custard. Why burn the top of it? Fantastic.
My favourite dessert. Bread and butter pudding.
Really?
With creme brulee without the creme.
Yeah, bit
without the
custard.
brulee.
Bit of
Creme brulee
custard,
without,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the poshest way of saying custard.
Yeah, that's, well, you went there. Yeah, that's what I'd go for.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sticky toffee pudding. Change.
Right.
Sticky toffee pudding.
Yes,
Over
Shaka,
bread and
yes.
butter pudding.
Right,
Yes.
sticky toffee pudding
Yeah.
with custard. Hot custard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Nedum's
Yes.
excited as well. Look at him.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. I remember actually having that with you in the house. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. Thank you, Father.
Nedum, what are you going for?
I'm going for exactly
You
that.
can't go for
I
the
was
same.
hoping he was going to say it. Yes, and I'll be specific. Cartmel sticky toffee pudding. 10 out of 10.
Wow.
If you don't know,
There you go.
get to know.
Wow.
it.
What about an ice cream? I
Fantastic.
love a banana split.
Yeah.
Good banana split.
Okay, Dan.
Would you go ice cream?
Yeah, good for you, Dan.
I like
Good
ice
for you.
cream.
What flavour are we going?
You know, it's become, well, this might sound a bit posh here.
Is it creme brulee without the brulee?
No.
Uh-oh.
There's a Jenny's ice cream, goat cheese with red cherries. Look for it in your local shop.
Really?
It is well worth it.
What makes it so good?
The goat cheese or goat milk.
Yeah, it's goat
It's
cheese
something.
ice cream.
Goat ice cream, goat milk, something. I'm telling you.
Really?
From Jenny's.
Do you,
Look it up.
Do you? Is it all in one go job? Do you sit there watching Bridget Jones?
Kind of me and my wife
He's
have a little
changed.
fight over it.
He's
but
changed. Shaka, you've
I get
changed.
some
You've
in.
changed.
Two
You've changed.
spoons.
It's good.
You've
Yeah?
changed.
It is good.
Nedum, where are you going with ice cream?
You've changed. Nah, just not there. Wherever he's gone, I'm not going there, and you'll never see me there.
Right.
I would go for, say, something like a strawberry cheesecake or something like that. Something a bit different. I like it.
No, that ain't good.
No?
Rocky Road comes second to Jenny's
Really?
goat milk and...
Oh, Shaka, there's some sort of power rankings coming up
Yep.
now. So you get that sponsored. Any sponsors out there like to join us for an ice cream top 10? That'd be good. That's it. Thank you very much, guys. ESPN FC back on your screens tomorrow. Be sure to join us. Shaka, you're in again tomorrow.
Again.
Won't be as intimate though, will it?
Guess not. I hope not.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.